So, all right, guys. Hi. Thank you for coming by and watching our show. We're not sure
Oh,
what
we've
we're going to talk
started?
about, but we just did it. We get us out there and get it going.
Let's go.
So let's get this show on the road, right?
We're not on a road.
Well, we can be. Let's take it on the road. Why not?
I'd rather take it on the boat.
I would love to take it on the boat. We can't take anything on the boat these days. Nashville is rainy.
It's not going to rain tomorrow. I'll be on the boat.
Oh yeah,
It's just tonight.
just tonight.
That was one hell of a rain, though.
Dude, it didn't do that in Christiana, but like the power went out at my job, and like I was sitting up
I
there.
know because I was right there when it happened.
Yeah, you're there. So
I literally was right outside of your building when the lights went out, stuck at the light.
yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. You can always come on over.
My son and I were together. We went and got our hair cut.
Oh, fun.
And then we were driving back and we stopped at Kroger to get some stuff
Yeah,
because I hadn't been to Kroger in like weeks because I haven't had family.
yeah.
And so we just grabbed some basic stuff. And when we went in, I was just like, man, it's going to rain soon. And we came out and it was just barely misting. And he's like, look, it's raining. And I'm like, well, it's not raining yet. He goes, okay, well, it's sprinkling. I'm like, yeah. And then I look to the right and I'm like, but it's coming. And sure enough, by the time we could put the cart away, it was,
Yeah, like like where I was standing is our front doors where they're like windowed. And I look out the front door and nothing. I look back at the person I'm talking to and I say something and I do this in the 30 seconds. It wasn't like just raining, it came a flood. It was biblical.
it was. I couldn't see it all driving home.
I was just like, oh man, where's the ark?
No one was moving. They were afraid to go through the light. I've never seen a street light go from blackout to yellow blinking.
Yeah.
I think it was yellow. To red to green in about 30 seconds.
So yeah, it's just
And
reset.
I'm sitting there like, whoa, that's not confusing to anybody else trying to drive.
Right? No, we all know what that means.
And then nobody moved. They're all like,
How do I do this?
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm all about. I have insurance. I go. That's my thing. I'm like, I pay for insurance. I'm gonna, utilize it. Yeah, I like this song. So I had seen an article that Nikki Sixx takes shots at the media because they don't do the research. Well, Nikki
Yeah.
Sixx has something to say about that.
Don't we all?
Well, I just thought it was funny that he'd even care. Like, really? You?
Of all people.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with music right now at all.
Yeah.
Didn't he like basically retire from music?
And how
I know he retired from the band.
how many brain cells do you have firing, like, what are you running on anymore, old Nikki?
Yeah, really.
Do you remember the 80s? I don't think you could.
I don't remember the 80s.
So he's a real
I barely remember the 90s.
No, he doesn't remember anything. He's a real authority on upstanding moral and civil behavior. He's like,
Yes,
"Grr."
very much. The entire band is.
Yeah, they're good guys.
Yes.
Motley Crue, woo! Yeah, and he also in an interview he had stated that he doesn't see a reason right now to go back into the studios. We have to second that, old Nick. You can probably stay out and be okay.
That's one of the biggest problems I have with music is there's so many bands that decide to stay in their generation because they have nowhere to go.
Yeah, like you can't make a change.
You can't make a change, and then you can't write new music because nobody cares.
Yeah.
And it's never good.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they can't write new music, even if it is the same as before. Why isn't it any good?
Yeah.
Why? Like, why isn't an epic fail every single time?
Right. I don't know.
What was
they
the new one that
peaked.
just did that? Well, like, okay, Smashing Pumpkins. Took almost a decade off or about that much. Came back and wrote two terrible albums. One of them was a double album. The rock opera is god awful.
I think one could argue that a rock opera is pretty bad regardless. me.
Queen was a good rock opera.
Yeah, but I guess yeah.
That was more opera.
Yeah, and it was like it was time appropriate. Like we're not lacking in, we don't need rock operas right now.
No, we don't need a rock
We
opera.
might have needed a rock opera when Queen was doing it.
We most certainly didn't need a rock opera that has the exact same song 20,000 times over.
Right.
And supposedly they're making another album already, or they've already recorded it and they're coming out with it soon. It's like a big surprise, like, oh, new album, haha, didn't see that coming. And it's like,
Yes, we did.
yeah, I'm worried about that one.
We don't want it. Just go. See, but I'm okay. Like I like you stay in your lane, man. Like a lot of my favorite musicians are dead anyways, so like they can't come back and ruin like the dream for me. So it's like.
Well, did you listen to the new Eminem song? Houdini.
Mm-mm.
It was great.
You said it was good, right?
It was great.
Can we
And then
play
I
it?
found out that there's a whole new album. I didn't. And
We talked about that he didn't really necessarily need to do that, right?
yeah, I mean that's an example of like, sometimes they work. Sometimes they can make it a comeback.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to say which one passes that test because it's not very often.
I think rap and hip hop, they can take time off. It's just, I don't know, these kind of like grungy bands I think are harder, and classic rock's harder, but I feel like timeless hip hop and rap are kind of timeless. We're sampling music, we're like, it's just the structure stays the same. Hey, it's Paul.
Beck is a good example of a band of someone who just changes it up every single time, so there's no issue with that. He can do
Yeah.
whatever he wants.
I think one could argue that he kind of rides the line of hip hop, like, at least funky.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
And blues and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
folk music, like absolutely. But he's changed every album every single time completely different. So there's no way to go, well, now he's stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
He's not stuck in anything. Radiohead's pretty close to that too.
Yeah. They can kind of, I don't know if they can do funky, but. This is. There you go, get it, Rick, get it. This sounds like that beginning hook was similar to something he's done in the past.
It's like Slim Shady, yeah.
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 He's
This album's called The Death of Slim Shady.
Oh, okay.
So.
He's a fast rapper. Him and Busta Rhymes. There's another. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. So, what? Like, this is what we talked about this song before. It makes me think of Steve Buscemi and Steve Carell in that like Burt Wonderlust or something movie that they did. Jim Carrey that's a good movie. You should watch that one.
I will have to look that up.
Yeah, it's good. It has a lot of fun people in it. But yeah, he's a fast rapper. Busta Rhymes is? God, I can't remember the other guy we have. The fast rappers are pretty impressive.
Beastie Boys were pretty good, but there was 3 of them, so they could bounce.
Yeah.
But they were pretty effective at that too.
But I think not Mystical. What's his
Cypress
name?
Hill's pretty good at it. Not quite this fast though.
Starts with the T. I can't but Busta, like, he did, like, he's like one of them are like record setting, like, of fastest rappers. Like,
Really?
Yeah. What the guy I'm thinking of, like.
But I was telling you before we started that that I watched an interview with REM.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And it was a great interview. Highly recommend it, from CBS News or something like that. I thought it was a really good interview.
Twista. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry, y'all.
Twista?
Twista.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh yeah.
And I really enjoyed the interview, but one of the things that, of course, everybody's sitting there watching going, well, so what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Why are you doing this interview all of a sudden? Are you coming back? Like, is this a sign?
Yeah.
And so he finally was like, well, I'd get in trouble if I didn't ask, but what's it going to take for you guys to do this again? And they're like, it's not happening.
REM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, why? And they're like, because we did it.
Right.
There's no point to do it again. What are we going to do?
I appreciate that.
And they're hardcore to it. All of them stood behind it except for one. The drummer was like, well, I'd do it again.
Well, you could go do something else. Like.
But they were very, very blunt about the fact of, like, they weren't even talking about whether they needed the money or not, and anything whatsoever, because they understood money would be ridiculous to do this.
Yeah.
But they were just very strong about, you know, and it makes sense to some of the things about how they did their work, because they did, like, I didn't realize they did an album a year for
Yeah.
years.
Wow.
Like, they were prolific until they finally decided that there was nothing else for them to show or go. Like, where were they going to go next? They had no direction. So they were like, nope, it's over.
They were
And they
sh-
just ended it right there.
I'm done. They're shiny, happy people. They
Yeah.
didn't have to do it anymore.
It was an interesting interview because I was really shocked at some of the points of view, but they were just like, there was no excuse as to why they needed to. There was no reason. It doesn't make any sense outside of money,
Yeah.
even to do one. And so he was like, well, you know, like, for example, do you guys like ever go to a party and someone gives you an instrument? Do you play a song together? They're like, maybe a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
And he was like, have you ever in private done something together? And they're like, yeah, we did recently.
Oh.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And we had fun.
And it was for us.
And the one dude, I think he's the lead guitarist, he was like, he said something about like one of his kids or somebody in his family was like playing one of their songs, and she was like, hey, this is one of your songs. And he's like, it is? And he had to listen to it for a little bit and go look at he was like, I don't remember doing this at all.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I mean, it's been 20 some years,
Yeah.
24, I think, or something like that.
I should be like losing my religion. He's like, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
I guess
That's
that was
me
a
in
pretty
the
hard one to
corner,
put together.
huh?
Yeah.
It's me in the spotlight. What? That slides there makes sense.
They said originally that was not supposed to be losing my religion. There was some other name to it. And it turned into that. But it was cool. It was just funny because they all have different perspectives, but they were all pretty close. And what was really weird was the bassist was wearing glasses that were like
Taped.
violet colored,
Oh, okay.
really transparent violet colored. Mm-hmm. And Michael Stipe was wearing like yellow lens glasses.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, I know what that's like because I have those glasses too. And I've done that for my music or for my artwork.
Yeah.
And I was like, what was I going to say? I was like, how could you just live life in that color? It's really weird to do.
Yeah.
It's one thing to do it for a little while, but after a while it gets kind of old and it's really strange to
Yeah.
do.
Rose.
But they were just like, it was, trying to be cool, I guess. And so it is what it is, but whatever.
So Busta Rhymes is the #1 fastest rapper, followed by Eminem.
Followed by Eminem. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I knew Busta was like, and Twista, he's pretty fast. He's a Southern rapper too. But yeah. So now we know. If you ever
Guy
wanted
I've never
to know.
heard of. I forgot to move the trash can. Dang it.
I could do it.
I
Look
know
at
because I
this.
didn't move it, but I hate it's in the background.
Oh.
That's the same thing with like, why is this still up here? But nobody can see because I'm in the way. But now you can see me while I move it.
We're recording, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I might have to take a break real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to volley it over to you and you're going to have to talk. And this
No,
is
we just-
starting to...
Pause and come back.
Let's do that real quick.
We'll be right back, ladies and germs.
Dun, dun, dun!
And we're back.
Hi. Hello. How are you?
Oh, hey, by the way, I hope you're, paying attention. Like, we're back.
We're back. And as we talk about faulty equipment. Hello. Hello.
Speaking of a joke for faulty equipment,
Okay.
2 episodes ago, we had our camera failure.
We did.
Then we had first we had our audio failure. Mm-hmm. Then we had our camera failure. Mm-hmm. Then we had a camera failure again. Mm-hmm. Right? To make that even worse, then I go, because that was that 25 greatest songs of all time one that you just hated, the cover, the covers.
Yes.
And so then I go to edit it. I put it up on YouTube, and YouTube's like, nope, it's blocked because of yesterday. Mm-hmm. The best song in the whole entire thing. And I'm like,
One
I
could
forgot because
argue.
it did it to us last time we had this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So then I fixed it, put it back up on the internet. And then it wasn't until Thursday that I went back to look at something else on YouTube to check on how everything was going. And I'm like, why are you blocked? I took the song off. So I looked again. There was another stupid Beatles song I didn't read it was
Blackbird.
100% blocked. It wasn't Blackbird. And so I had to go back in, edit it again, post it again.
Dun dun. I was wondering.
That's why it didn't appear on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because it was blocked permanently.
Because it was today. I noticed it. I was like, hey, there you go.
That is exactly what happened.
Dun dun.
Because I didn't
dun.
catch that it said it twice. Because everything else was like, Russia and Belarus, like always. And I was like, I don't care about Russia and Belarus, but
Right.
I didn't catch it. And it was literally like, because we didn't even finish the song.
Yeah.
It was literally like a minute and a half of the whole entire episode that I had to cut out.
Really.
That's all it was.
Yeah. It's not much at all.
No.
They'd be in butt heads.
I was so mad. None of that's cut out on Spotify. Hats off to Spotify there.
That's right. They don't care.
While my light flashes at me.
Don't have a seizure. Don't have a seizure.
And it's the one facing me, so it's really irritating me.
It's like right here in my purse.
I quit. This is it. I'm done.
I'm done.
Put a fork in me. I'm done.
No.
I can't take it.
We have had a rough go, and I'm so proud of us. And we're great. We're sticking with everything. It's so cool.
Yes.
Yes.
We've made it past 25 episodes. We're doing fantastic.
We are doing fantastic.
And we didn't even celebrate that.
I know. We're gonna have a celebration. It's coming.
Cheers to hundreds more.
Hundreds. Cucumber water. I'm scared to drink right now. What is it?
You don't hear it?
I do.
It's the fan.
Oh. What up, fan? Welcome, guys.
It's a little hot up here today.
It's a fan. Yeah, it is a little. It's a little hot in Tennessee. It's muggy.
Well, and it's one of the things
rainy.
about this room because it's the far end of the air unit, so it doesn't get all the air. So in the winter it's a little hot. I mean a little cold,
Cool.
and in the summer it's a little hot. So
Yeah.
I got to time it right. And I'm always working on that. So I put a fan on, and now I can hear the fan in the background. They can't.
No,
It
you
won't
can't.
matter. We can because our little headsets
They
hear
pick up
everything.
Everything.
But don't worry, you don't have no idea what we're talking about.
We're going to keep it from you. We're going to shield you
Yeah.
with good parents.
Speaking of, my kids are back.
Oh yes, yeah. So Rick had what? 5 weeks with
5 weeks of no
uninterrupted
kids.
Yeah.
How many of you get that?
Not
Nobody.
Not me.
No. And I've had it for years.
Yeah.
I've had anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks over the last 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, something like that. It's been a while that I've been
Yeah.
spoiled by this every summer. I don't know if it's ever going to end, and I don't know what to say with them getting older, but it's pretty awesome, But Rose went to theater school up in Ohio,
Yeah.
so, and that theater school was like, actually they might have been gone for 6 weeks. I don't know. It was a crazy journey. But it was nice to have this house to myself all the time, or just Nicole and I, and then she left to go get the kids. Well, she left a couple weeks in to go take one kid to one place and one kid to the other and stuff like that. And then this time she went up there to see the play. I stayed with the dogs and stuff like that, and then she went to Columbus to do to go to some firemen's event that honored David,
Oh,
who passed away in
Yeah.
February. And so then they had to go back up. So it's a 3-hour drive to Columbus from where they're at. And they were thinking about driving down here, but they would have got here like 1 o'clock in the morning. So instead they took the 3-hour drive back up just to drive 7 hours the next morning to come here.
wow.
Yeah. So I had 5 days to myself on top of all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not spoiled at all. Not even a little bit.
Not at
No,
all.
not even a little bit.
Not the foggiest. That's but that's how I grew up. Yeah, like I would spend my summers with my aunts and uncles or brothers or sisters,
But I'd only go for like a week or two, not
Yeah, not the
5
whole
straight
summer.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You're a rare bird.
I'm a spoiled
You're out there just
SOB.
yeah, living every parent's dream. They're
Well, the
like,
funny thing about it
"Oh."
too is I have a lot of friends that that from like up in Ohio, from my hometown and everything, that are always so jealous when I tell them the story, because for a while there, when my parents lived up in Ohio too, they would go from one side to the other, and they would take care of all of that, and we didn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
And all my friends were always so jealous of me, and I had to clarify a couple things to them though. Up until this last 2 years where my parents moved here, up until then, we had zero help. So we never got out, never got to do anything on our own, never got to do go anywhere. We'd barely ever get a babysitter, didn't have anybody we could even trust to do that. It was a nightmare for 13 years.
Yeah.
So I'm allowed to be spoiled in the summer, because what would you rather have? Your Fridays off every week, every month, or 5 straight weeks of nothing?
Yeah, I know.
And even that one night off a week is not a night off where you come home to your own house with nobody in it. The kids still come back that night.
Yeah, right.
You just get to go out,
Right.
and then you get to come back. Would you rather have that one night out a week, or 5 straight weeks of no kids?
5 straight glorious weeks.
You know, so you suffer for the other 48 weeks or 47 weeks of the year
Yeah.
to get that moment.
Get there. Yeah.
So you can look at it that way too.
Yeah, you can. I also look at it as kids are like just visualization of time marching on. Like, it's just really messing with me right now that my daughter's 16 and will be a senior next year. Because, like,
Senior, not a junior?
oh,
she's
this
a junior?
school, yeah, she's going to be a junior in
Okay, I was
August.
going to say, whoo,
But
caught me
next
off guard
year,
there.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I was just like thinking about how,
In 2
you know,
years, she's going to be on her own.
yeah, she's like, I'm staying until I'm 30. I was like, yeah, I say that. But I remember filling out her little paperwork for, school, and it said, her graduation year was 2026, and I was like, that's never getting here. And like, I'm like, blink, and I'm like, oh, it's almost 2026. What?
It has not. Everybody says that. They were like, just blink and it's all going to be over. And I'm like, it feels like it's been forever.
I think once, I think it's like the first 5 to 7 years don't go by fast. But for me at least, and this is my experience, once we tack on to like once we get to 8, then it's just like before you know it, like.
I don't know. It's tough for me on that one, because my life is such a whirlwind without them.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't here, my years go flying by because I have such a crazy lifestyle. Throwing them into the mix messes me up even more, because then I have to remember that I got to cater to them sometimes and not just all about me.
Right.
It's really hard, because in the rest of the world, it's all about me.
It's all about Rick.
When I'm not in this house, it's all about me.
Yeah, totally.
Or when I'm not in front of a camera.
It's all about Ricky.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. I don't know. She wasn't driving, now she's driving. She wasn't going to be a junior, now she's a junior, and she's driving all over too. She's like Middle Tennessee.
I could tell, because you keep telling me I don't have a car to come do this episode.
Yeah, she'd be like, well, she had her little side hustle, her little business, you know what I'm saying? So she got dogs to watch. Now next summer, you ain't got no excuse. You'll have a seasoned dog sitter that can come over here and pamper your pups while you go.
If you would have told me that, I would have gone on the trip.
Yeah.
To your point, because my biggest issue with my dogs, because my dogs are just as much my kids as my kids, I'm very hardcore about them, is I don't want you just coming and going and letting my dogs out. I want you staying and spending time with them.
Yeah.
They
See?
need attention.
And she had her little
They need
business,
cuddles.
Her little hustle, man. She's so good at it. She's like, I have the 3 plans. Like I have 3. You can do my walk and water service where I go in, I water them, I walk them, and then I leave them. And then she has a 2-hour service where she goes in, she plays with them, she gives them food and attention and makes sure they potty, and then she has the overnight. So she has something for every dog owner. So
That's pretty awesome.
yeah, and she's done really well. Like, she'll have 3 families in one day that she's like bouncing between houses. So
That's
she,
awesome.
Yeah, and she has she watches 2 Great Danes right now. And
that are probably as tall as she is.
she's like they're taller because they love her. So she comes over and like he puts his little paws on
Oh,
her
yeah.
shoulder and his head's up here. She's like, hey, but like
Drool.
yeah, one of them's like, yeah, I like you. The other one's like, I fucking love you. You're my best friend. And like she'll send me pictures and he's just like, oh, with his little head all over her. And he's like little head, big old head. But then she has a German Shepherd that she watches that's like 120 pounds. This dog looks like a wolf. He's huge. He's all black. I mean, we've known this dog since birth, but so like, just the point is, she's versed with the big ones all the way down to the little ones, you know. But yeah, she's doing really well. She likes it too. So I don't like the hair. She comes home covered in hair.
Yeah, that's a problem here too.
I'm like sneezing.
Like I have to change a shirt before I do these episodes. I can't go sit on the couch and then come up here and do this.
Yeah. You know, I noticed you never have hair on your shirt.
That's because I change every single time for that reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I was like that.
yeah. Because I do have a hairy house,
A hairy house.
not just me.
I have a hairy house. But yeah, so next time, anytime you know, if Nicole ever gets to get to Vegas with you.
Okay,
know.
this is a band I forget about.
What is it?
Have you ever heard this band before?
You got to. I don't.
Okay. Got to backtrack for a second. I always forget these guys, and I really think that I might really like them. And I haven't looked more of their stuff up than this. But I think these guys are good. You're not allowed to look, you silly.
Oh,
She's like staring at it upside down. What is it?
I'm trying to find out who it
I'm supposed to
is.
figure it out.
I don't think if whatever I saw was the name of that band, I have no clue who these people are.
You've never heard this song before?
The song? No, I don't think so.
You've never heard this song before?
That doesn't. I don't
No.
think so. How old is this song?
Let me check my phone to see. 2005.
No.
This was, you would have been in college or?
Yeah, I was in college. This was coming
Don't
up.
call it a comeback.
No. I was like, that can't be them. But I'm thinking, what is it, LL Cool J? Was that who did it? Or
This is not LL Cool J.
no, I know it's not. But what is,
You're not even close.
don't call it a comeback. Who was that? LL Cool J?
Mama said knock you out.
Yeah, that was. So who was
Yeah.
that? What's his name?
That's LL Cool J, yeah.
Oh, LL Cool. I'm thinking Coolio. Oh my God, y'all, my head. It's been a long week. Okay, just the last every episode I've done, like the last few ones. I'm like, it's been a long week.
I know, I was going to say, really?
Don't
Nobody
call-
has a longer week than me. I don't know what, I don't care what she says.
Longer week. No kids. I've had kids.
Well, I only didn't have kids on Monday. I came back Tuesday, didn't even get to see the kids. They got home right after I went to pool.
Oh,
So I didn't even get to see them until Wednesday. That light just went out.
it did. Oh no.
I'm waiting for it to go and fire start.
Yeah.
I told you there was a problem with it.
Now, like my face just fell.
Totally. I did. That one light's not going to do enough for us at
So I'm
all.
like,
The good news is
Roll.
I'll get another 2 lights and I'll have 3 lights then to blind you more.
Lights. Oh my God.
That's what you want.
So well lit.
So you can be blinded by the light.
Blinded by the light. Revved up like a deuce. Another runner of the night.
So you have no idea. You never heard this song
No, I
before.
have no idea.
This is the Shout Out Louds.
The Shout Out Loud.
Shout Out Louds.
Yeah, man, I've never heard of them.
They're fun.
They sound fun.
The whole album sounds like
they
this.
remind me of the what is it, Andy Warhols?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they kind of have that.
Dandy Warhols.
The Dandy Warhols. It's been a long week.
How dandy of you.
Dandy and like what else is it? Not the Smiths. But yeah, Andy Warhols. The Andy Warhols. Jesus, I did it again.
It's because it's been a long
Oops,
week.
I did it again.
I think it's because she had COVID a couple weeks ago and she's still recovering
I
from it.
have brain fog. Just, it's a one hit right after another. Just bum, 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 bum. How was pool last night?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
That was 3 nights ago. It was actually quite a good night, sort
Good.
of. We didn't have 2 of our top players. We had our number 1 player, and we had me. We missed the 2 in between. One was sick and one couldn't be there. And I didn't realize, because I'm not that great of a captain, I guess, but I don't pay attention. I didn't realize we were playing the one team that is competing against us in both 8 and 9 for first place.
Oh.
And we swapped places in 9-ball. That sucked. We lost in 9-ball. We didn't even lose by that much, but they're 4 points ahead now.
Ah.
That's how close we were. Like, we're neck and neck. And in 8-ball, we're 4 points behind also, which is a lot harder to get.
Yeah.
But we literally are like right there with them.
No.
So it's going to be a challenge, but in a good way. Like, I had a blast.
Good.
This, first of all, the team was fun. You know, a lot of the teams are fun. You never know. There is one guy on their team that's kind of a prick. From the first day that we switched to that day and got there, that guy was just a prick to me right away. He was just like, you can't play on that table because we're using these 2 tables. And I was like, yeah,
like
in an hour and a half, can I play on it now?
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm just letting you know that that's not your table.
I'm sitting here, I got my stuff.
And I'm like,
calm down, Joe.
I do know how this works. You know, because they didn't know. Because they didn't know I was going on Wednesdays instead of Tuesdays. They have no clue. And I understand that, but you don't need to be a prick to me. You know, it's like you can be nice about it. So then the last time we played that team, we beat the crap out of them. And I gave him, Desiree, a 1. And he's a 7. And he's just like, are you serious?
Like,
He was mad.
I was serious.
Like, tough.
She has to get 3 balls.
So luckily this time she wasn't there because I said that to him. I was like, you're lucky she's not here.
Yeah.
And he just kind of laughed. But he walked out of the room last time after she beat the crap out of him.
Oh, wow.
And
That's awesome.
I think she might even been up to a 2 because of it or something, if I remember. I don't know.
Was she sick? Or like you said you're missing 2 of your good?
Lance was sick, so she stayed home too.
Okay.
He had a major fever. Yeah, he was pretty sick.
I wonder if it's COVID's going around, yo. Okay.
I don't know, but I told him not to come no matter what it was. I was like, hey, time out.
Fevers
Don't forget that even if it's the flu, you can still get us all sick. Like, let's not be stupid here.
Yeah. It's not just COVID anymore.
Right. He was like, well, you know, if the fever breaks, I'll come. And I'm like, no.
No. You stay your ass home.
And so,
Warranty.
so I played this guy, Trey, and he's a 6. I'm a 5 and a 4 now, 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it. And so I was like, I like this guy. He's a nice guy.
He's a good guy.
He's got an interesting attitude, but he's always like cool. Mm-hmm. And I've talked to him many times. I friended him on Facebook, and so we watch a little bit about what each other's doing, stuff like that. But we've never played each other.
Yeah.
So now that I'm a 5, I have to be the one that steps up a lot more. And especially when I'm missing the other 2 5s, I had to step up.
Yeah.
So I stepped up against him, and I was on fire.
Good.
So I started off like 19-4 or something like that. Like I was on a rampage.
Yeah.
And he did catch up, and I won by 2 balls.
There you go. So you got this.
But I won. And then I went to 8-ball, and he was like, well, it's going to be me again. And I'm like, cool. You know, we did a shot together. We just had a blast together. We had so much fun together.
Good.
And I beat him in both, which made me feel very, especially in 8-ball. Like I thought I was going to get my butt kicked in 8-ball because it's a different game. Mm-hmm. And I was so proud of myself that he won 1 game. Mm-hmm. I won 3. So even if you look at it as like your handicaps, oh no, I still beat him regardless if we had the same handicap. It didn't matter. So that made me feel better too. Good. That I really was beating somebody that is better than me, and I'm getting that much better. And we were talking about it. I was like, not bad, huh? Yeah. I was like, yeah, because he's watched me play a few times, and I don't know how much he's paid attention, but I think we've practiced against each other once. I don't think we've ever played each other. And now we want to, because now I know he's going to do a fireball. We're going to have fun together. Yeah. Which is what this is all about. I mean, yeah, of course I always want to win. Let's be realistic. Of course I always want to win. But at the same time, I want to have fun with whatever I'm doing, whoever I'm playing against. If I'm playing against a prick, of course I want to win even more. And if I lose, I'll be really upset. But if I lose against somebody who's really cool, so what? Yeah. It's fun.
It's fun.
So no, it was great. Yeah. We won an 8-ball, lost a 9-ball, but we're second place in both, and third place is pretty far behind both of us. Like we're up there. Yeah. So it's pretty exciting.
Good.
And I don't know when they had a bye recently because that also adds more points.
Oh, Okay.
You get 60 automatically in 9-ball and 8 automatically in 8-ball. So it's like kind of a cheat,
Yeah.
if you will.
Sounds like it. That's
And
crazy.
I don't know if we've had 2 buys. I don't know if we even have another one.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But so we're winning because we're winning. You know,
Yeah.
we're in first and second place because we're doing it, not because because of the buys and stuff like that. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, you got
I can't believe how
this.
good we're playing. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm happy for y'all. It's good. It's fun being
is.
out there.
It's a challenge, and it not just gets you out of the house, but it is fun to have a challenge because how many people out there don't want to win at something?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I
how
think
many
you-
people out there just want a participation award?
I would like a participation award right now.
Right now,
Right now.
you do deserve a participation award for this show.
I'm participating.
about it.
Hey.
Waka waka waka.
There you go. Got it. Yeah, yeah. I like to get out there. I like to play more. It's just
Someday.
time. There's not enough hours in the day.
Well, there's always enough hours in the day when you have your own table at your own house.
That's true.
Then you don't have any excuses.
That's true.
And that's what I was saying to Trey. I was like, I play a lot. I've been really practicing
Yeah.
because I was worried about going from a 4 to a 5 to Vegas because I was supposed to be a 4. Now I'm not.
Yeah.
And one of the other guys went back down to a 4. And I was like, well, you have to stay a 4 then.
Yeah.
And I think he went back up to he did go back up to a 5. And we played the week before against each other. And we were both like, well, whoever wins should go back down to a 4. And it wasn't even a competition.
Oh.
So I feel better about the fact that I've moved up. I do feel like I am a 5.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm representing that number quite well.
Yeah.
And moving, because there's the idea that you're like on the low end of that number or the high end of that number and about to make it to the next level or stuff like that. Right now I'm dead center for sure, if not moving up to the upper side of the center
Yeah.
from how good I'm playing. And that just means I have to keep practicing. That's the hardest part about it is take a break for a week, I'm going to go back down. Not down numbers, but quality.
Right.
And I really do have to stick it out because we have 2 weeks to Vegas.
2 weeks in Vegas.
2 weeks to Vegas
On a hoodie. Better bring me a hoodie.
from Vegas.
Yeah.
Like
A Vegas hoodie.
just a cheesy Vegas hoodie. Not a pool Vegas hoodie, but a cheesy Vegas hoodie.
Cheesy.
As cheesy as I can
Cheesy
get.
wash. Yeah.
Now, let's clarify something here.
There's a shirt that I really like. You took a picture with. I really wanted to get that for you. So if you can find something like that in a hoodie form, that'd be awesome.
So let's clarify something here because she has traveled with me once and she does have a little bit of a clue how insane I am. But you do understand that I do not have room for a sweatshirt to come back with me.
Oh, that's I forgot how you. I'm telling you. I was like,
You
wait.
did
a
not
minute.
see that coming.
Wait, what? You have how many bags and for what? But yeah, man.
I mean, I'll see, but there's no guarantee.
Okay. I understand though. I
It'd
really
be
do.
safer to just order it on Amazon.
That's true. Let's find myself a shitty Vegas hoodie there.
I'll order it on Amazon and ship it here and go, look what I brought back for you.
Look, like, why is this in an Amazon bag? That's so funny. Yeah, I'm gonna get some practice in. I'll eventually get a pool table at my house. I feel like that's coming. And
Instead, you have a ping pong table.
I do. That's,
Which, speaking of, what started today?
what's the ping pong Olympics?
Yes!
Oh, okay.
In Paris.
Paris.
While I was getting my hair cut, the opening ceremony was happening because they're in a different time zone.
Yeah.
So it was live. That was pretty cool. And they, you know how they...
Like us?
Yes. And you know how they always like come into the big stadium
Yeah.
and they have all the countries.
Yeah.
They did it
The
on
flag.
boats.
Oh, cool.
It was so cool down the river right there. You saw the Eiffel Tower. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a great way to, and they had all these giant boats because like America and Paris both had like, I think France had more people than America did.
Ah.
And America's boat, I was like, how is that still floating? There's so many people on it. It was insane.
Do they have all the athletes?
454 athletes.
That's That needs to be like a cruise ship boat size
Right.
boat. Yeah.
And I think maybe it was more. Maybe it was 545, something like that.
The
But
synchronized swimmers
France
were
is
like,
571.
let this go down. We got this. They'd all
But
swim.
the point to the reason why I was bringing it up is the ping pong.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, table tennis.
Table tennis. Let's not offend.
We always call it ping pong, but it's table tennis. And so I was coincidentally this morning on the news, GMA was interviewing the captain of the table tennis team, and it was really cool. She's 22 years old.
Okay.
She's been playing since she was 4,
Oh, adorable.
and it was cool. And I was just thinking, like, yeah, I mean, like, you always wonder what they really want to advertise. You know, they typically want, of course, they want Simone Biles, whatever his name is, to interview because she's like about to be the greatest gymnast of all time and stuff like that.
Is she competing this year?
Yeah, she
Okay.
came back after leaving last time.
Good.
And there's a new documentary about what happened last time.
Yeah, I saw.
Because she left in the middle of the tournament. Like, she just was like, got up and was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore. And you thought that she retired. And instead, it was just, I only watched a little glimpse of the documentary, but it was basically that she did this, the one where you run down and you jump up and hit that board and then you flip a bunch of times.
She lost orientation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she said it wasn't just orientation. Like, she
It's
was
called
off.
like the twisties. It's like, so like when they're up there, they can't orientate themselves anymore, and they're susceptible to injury once that happens because then they can't land properly.
Yeah,
They
but
hurt
it was her
themselves.
head, not her body. Like she said.
Yeah, it's a
when-
disconnect between
Yeah.
the brain and the body. Like
Yeah.
it's a big thing in gymnastics.
But it messed her up for the next event, and then she finally just quit because of it.
she was like, I'm not breaking my body for
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. Good for you, girl. Know your body. Know your limits, you know? Like, you might be world renowned, but if you know that your head can't get around it right now, then you get out of it. I mean, like, cuz those breaks that those girls go through when they don't land properly, they're like career ending, you know.
Well, one of the things that frustrated me about the Olympics over the last decade is they
Not
try to get
girls or
rid of
women.
wrestling,
Yeah, really?
and which is the foundation of the Olympics. That's
Right,
the
yeah.
beginning of the Olympics. Why would you try to get rid of that? And it was because they didn't have room for the new stuff they wanted to bring in.
Well, you don't get rid of the OG sport.
Let's
You get rid of synchronized swimming.
you get rid of badminton.
Walking. They have speed walking.
Seriously,
Yeah.
you want to get rid of wrestling?
Right. No, okay, I don't know if you've ever seen synchronized swimming though. Like
It's
the
pretty
bitches
awesome.
don't. Yeah, they're like, I would like, just obsessively watch their videos because I'm like, what in the hell?
But at least, you know, like table tennis, of course, I get that that's not going anywhere because it might not be that big of a deal here, but the rest of the world, that's huge. Or at least,
Yeah.
you know, obviously Asia, that's huge.
No.
And that's what they were saying is this girl is so good, she could be the first ever
Ever.
to get a
Ever.
medal for America
Oh wow.
in ping pong. I mean, table tennis. I mean,
Yeah,
ping
because
pong.
I don't think we're gold in table tennis.
No, we've never even got bronze.
Yeah.
We've never done anything.
Yeah, that's a dominated sport, not
Yeah.
by us. Yeah.
Right, right. And I heard about some new ones that they started. There is, God, someone was telling me about. There is a couple new sports like skateboarding's coming into it more now too, but there are a couple new things that I'm like, how is that a sport?
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted to get rid of wrestling? Like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Speed walking is what really got me. I was like, that's a weird.
That's stupid.
You just be like, whoop, 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 you out there? You out
Yeah.
there? I can walk faster than you can run this mile.
I wonder if I almost want to say that they might have brought cornhole into it. I'm trying to remember what something like that they're bringing
That's dumb.
in. Well,
Cornhole.
still not as dumb as badminton.
Badminton's like, that's a Tennessee kind of volleyball-y. There's a racket there.
Yeah, you go from table tennis to tennis. You don't need the badminton and racquetball in between. I'm sorry.
Racquetball's crazy.
It is crazy, but it's not an
It's
Olympic
intense.
sport.
Could be, should be.
No, it
Isn't
shouldn't.
No. What about pickleball?
Yeah, no.
No. What about pool? Isn't pool?
No. Never has been. I
Billiard,
wouldn't know why it would be.
billiards.
Yeah,
That one's
it'd be cool, but no.
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 Y'all could have the Olympic team.
I mean, sometimes it even annoys me that they have like basketball and stuff like that too, because and even hockey, I love those sports, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, well, we're going to dominate those, or not us. Like in hockey, we're not going to. That's another issue. But those ones, there's professionals that make tons of money doing this, and now
Yeah.
you're going to put them into Olympics next to this guy that's like starving, trying to get there and trying to find any way possible to raise money to be able to go to the Olympics.
Right.
But then you got LeBron James holding the flag. Now, yes, he's awesome, but he's a multi-millionaire standing next to people that have like $10,000 in their pocket, if that,
Yeah.
if they're lucky, and are eating peanut butter and jelly the entire time because they don't know what else to do to survive, to get there, to be there to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
The basketball players should be there.
You see my point?
Yeah.
It's not fair
Yeah.
at all. The sacrifices an Olympian
Yeah,
makes.
I'm not saying LeBron James isn't an athlete. He's a very talented
That's not the point.
athlete.
That's not the point at all.
I don't feel like he's an Olympic level
No,
athlete.
no. The reason why I say it that way is the Olympics is amateur.
Yeah.
It's not technically pro.
I don't know. You tell them that, they might kill you.
No, it's kind of a true thing. It's in some of these sports that's, yeah. I mean, like for example, for swimming, for example, you know, Michael Phelps.
Yeah, you tell him he's
Yeah,
not a pro.
he is, but because that's the only event that's not the only event. They have a bunch of other ones, but gymnasts, you know, all that kind of stuff. They have events all the time.
They're pros.
There are pros,
Yeah.
but does table tennis have?
Yeah. Like that 22-year-old you were talking about, she's a pro. She's been playing since 4.
She's
that's
not a pro.
That's pro level.
I know. You know, back or for the Winter Olympics when they do the curling,
Yeah. They're pros.
how is that pro? What's the curling tournaments that they have all the time that people go to show pro?
Well, there's probably a ton of them. Like, that's just not a sport here. So, like that's not, but like,
We won the Olympics a couple years ago. Yes, it is.
no, I mean, it's not like a big, like, go up to Canada. I'm sure there's curling every other weekend at the
Right.
Moose Lodge.
Sure. But it just makes me kind of like question the Olympics sometimes and they've talked about this they've gone back and forth on some of it where it used to be, to the point it used to be only amateur.
Yeah.
It did. The basketball teams, if you were pro, you weren't part of the Olympics
Right.
until they finally won. Like the Dream Team, the Miracle hockey team was not pro players.
Yeah.
And so that makes it even bigger for these guys that are sacrificing everything they can to get to the Olympics. And then all of a sudden you bring in the multimillionaires and go, well, we do this all the time. This is easy.
Yeah. That's nothing.
So
Okay.
it's kind of frustrating for me because it's not even ground.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But then you got places like Russia and some of the other countries where this is your full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. That doesn't bother me. Like, that's cool. I don't know if they're still technically pro because of it, you know, especially
I
the
think
wrestlers
any
and stuff
Chinese
like that. But
athlete is a pro because of the way that they're. Like, if you're a Chinese athlete, or if you're from China and you're and you are in the Olympics, you have been training for that probably since you showed any ounce of talent.
Right.
Like, so those, I feel like.
no, they literally choose their path
Yeah.
as a young age, and they're stuck with it, whether they like it or not.
So it depends on like maybe what country, but like some of these people that have just been like eating this, living this, breathing it since they started, like, yeah, you pro status.
Like when you look at the winter, or both skateboarding, snowboarding, skiing, you know, all those kind of things. Yeah, they have pro after pro events, you know, the X Games over and over and stuff like that for both winter and summer too.
Yeah.
I get that. And there
But
is
like
a fine
for me,
line.
like
there.
I didn't know pool had all these tournaments because I wasn't in the world, but you're in the world, so you're playing pool a lot more than like, you know, guys.
Yeah, but it's all amateur.
Yeah, but like,
I'm not a pro pool player.
Right.
Not even close.
but there's so many tournaments that like there are like when I went to Vegas, like there were so many people. This one there was a set of twins, and they're like, we just got off the plane from Taiwan, because they were playing in Taiwan, left there to come play here, and they were going to Europe after they left, you know. But they're playing all over. Like, and I would never have known that if I didn't get involved with y'all in your
Yeah.
little pool scene, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of money that you can make on the side while you're there.
Yeah.
But it's all amateur. It's all amateur.
Those dudes, I mean, like, I don't know what they were They're like that. They're like that Black Widow status.
I mean, if we win this tournament, we make $10,000.
Yeah,
Split 5 ways. So we make $2,000.
that's cool.
We're going to spend more than that going.
I know, and it's like all exclusive pay too, getting you there.
But that's why it's amateur. It's not something you can live off of.
Right.
And that's where I draw the line. That's my point.
Yeah, I gotcha. Draw the line.
I draw the line
It's a
here.
hard line in the sand.
I have a lot of hard lines.
That's. I like the white lines. Just kidding.
The white stripes, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. White stripes, not lines. Not lines.
At least I know what you were trying to say.
Oh no, I'm saying white lines.
Oh.
White lines. You know. Cocaine.
Yeah. I did not know. I would not have caught that.
Yeah, that song, White Lines.
No.
Yeah, it's about cocaine.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs about cocaine.
White.
There's an Eric Clapton one called Cocaine.
Yeah. Riding that train.
Cocaine.
High on cocaine. You'll hear that in Vegas. Riding that train. High on cocaine.
I will be hearing that, I hope.
I hope so too. That's a good one.
So
Fun.
excited.
So
So
fun.
excited.
I don't do cocaine, by the way, okay? Like, I just like to quote songs. And movies.
I have a story.
Ooh, I like stories.
Yeah, I'll tell it. I don't care.
Is it an offline story or?
No, I mean, well, I have to think about the fact that someday my kids are going to watch this.
That's okay.
But
I have to know one day.
I did cocaine once.
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 That's why I said this is not a bad thing. So what if I did it once?
Once,
It's
yeah.
once.
Yeah.
If I kept doing it, we'd have a problem.
We might not be sitting here today.
I would not be sitting here.
Right.
It's a funny story because it was New Year's in my hometown. And I don't know how much the audience knows about me or how much you've noticed in all your time with me. Mm-hmm. But I might be a little hyperactive.
Just a little.
a little
So
bit.
you did cocaine and went to sleep.
No, it was
like,
worse.
Oh man, I'm tired now.
And so my friends were like, hey, you got to try this. And I'm like, why? And they're like, no, trust me. And I'm looking at them going, isn't that supposed to make me hyper? And they're like, well, yeah, we're going to be up all night. And I'm like, I'm already going to be up all night.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to worry about that.
Don't need assistance.
And so they talked me into it for some stupid reason. And I was like, whatever, fine, I'll try it. Mm-hmm. And so I did. And within like 15 minutes, I'm like, why would you want me to do this? Oh my God, why would I want to be like? I was like, why would you want to see me like this? Mm-hmm. This isn't fun at all. Can I do something to calm me back down? And they're like, no, you got to let it go. And it'll wear off soon. And I'm like,
I don't like this.
yeah. I was like, don't ever do this to me again.
Yeah.
Ever. And the next year, they're like, you want to do it again? I'm like, no.
I just like, I don't know, like, I don't care what someone does. If they want to do drugs, they should probably do drugs. If they don't, they probably shouldn't, you know? But, like, the appeal of, like, those uppers to me is, like, just so bizarre. I'm like, wait a minute. So I'll scratch my skin because I think bugs are under it and my teeth might fall out? This sounds like a great time, you know? Like, I can't, it just doesn't sound awesome. Like,
It wasn't at all.
I'm going to be paranoid and worried for a couple
And
hours.
I guess the positive to it is I may have always wondered. It may be given the right circumstance. Maybe that wouldn't have gone well. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't really wonder because I'm pretty hardcore about not screwing up with the hardcores,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, I've never tried meth. I've never tried crack. I've never tried heroin. Hell, no.
Yeah.
I've never even tried ecstasy.
Yeah.
I had it. Here's another good story for you. Came across a friend of mine that was selling it. Mm-hmm. And I was leaving. I think I was moving soon. I don't know. I bought 2 pills thinking I was going to have it or something like that. And he got it. He brought it for me, and it was a capsule with powder in it. It wasn't like a pressed pill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what the hell's inside of this.
Right. No. You don't know what's in any of it.
I'm not trusting that. I have no clue what's inside of it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't want this. But I had already bought it. So I put it in my freezer. You ready for this?
And then my parents one
For
day
5
had
years.
a great night.
For 5 years. For some stupid reason, I brought it with me to Savannah. I took it with me to Savannah. That's where I had it for years. I had it in Savannah the whole time. Never touched it.
That's hilarious.
And then I can't remember if it was in Savannah or here. Might even brought it here.
Yeah.
Before I came across a friend that wanted some, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've got some." And he's like, "What?" And I was like,
A decade old.
"It's been sitting in the freezer this entire time." And he's like, "Hell yeah, sure." And I'm like, "How can you say yes to that?"
Yeah.
And so I was like, "No." So I have no idea how it went, and it is what it is. And so I then went to Lollapalooza. And I'm standing up front because I like to be up as close as I can. And I think I'm waiting for Green Day. I think that was the time it was Green Day. And I'm standing there talking to these two young kids, this couple. And it took me a while to figure it all out. But, you know, we're having a good time together. And they said, "Hey, do you want some Molly?" And I'm like, "No. I don't even know what it is." I just said no because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Really? Because I think you would enjoy it." I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know what it is." And so I didn't ask any questions. I just said no. And then it occurred to me, I was like, you know, you guys are like got glitter all over you, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized that they covered themselves in baby oil and covered themselves in glitter. And I was like, whatever you're on, I don't want to be a part of. I don't care whatsoever.
Their eyes are black.
So it wasn't until like
that.
that night afterward, I went back with my friends and I'm at the bar with them reminiscing about the day and what my life was and everything like that and all my filming. And I said, I was like, yeah, this couple tried to give me Molly. And they're like, "Why didn't you take it?" And I'm like, "I don't know what it is." They're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, idiot, it's ecstasy." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that would have been an interesting time." But then I don't know if I would have got back. I wouldn't know. I don't know if I would have found my way. I don't know what would have happened.
You would just.
I could have
love
been
everyone.
lost.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was good I said no again.
Yeah.
So no, I've never touched anything like that. I've never messed with anything like that. I've never had a reason to.
Oh, Molly is MDMA, and it was prescribed to couples. It was a couples like used for couples counseling.
Well, it worked
In
for
the-
those two. They were in
Yeah.
heaven.
Yeah,
They were having a great time together.
It's the love drug. But I mean, that's pure MDMA.
Can you get some for me then?
Yes, I find my connection. I don't. I would. I was never good at any of that. Like figuring out where I didn't know. So I was like,
Yeah. So it's kind of funny, but I thought that was a good story. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong.
didn't do anything wrong.
I did one thing wrong for 1 second and never
Yeah.
did it again. Learned my lesson.
Learn your lesson.
You know,
It's like Dare. Don't do drugs. Dare is like an
I was
adult.
part of TACT, Teens Against Chemical Taking.
So funny. It's
It's even funnier to the point that when my friends brought out that stuff that New Year's, they were worried I was going to beat the crap out of them over it
oh wow.
because of that.
Because you're so
Because that was my
dedicated.
background. And I was like completely against everything. So I was like, why would you even take a chance?
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of this? And they're like, well, because we were going to do it. We don't want to keep hiding it from you. And I'm like, yeah, you keep hiding it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around it. And I'm glad that I did have that one moment so I understood it, because then from that point on, like as the owner of my company, if I caught you on that, on a job site, you were gone.
Yeah.
No hesitation. If I found it in the, anywhere. And it was a big deal for me when it came to my company, because I had to get my employees to understand, if you get arrested or if this client sees that you're doing a drug or you're drinking on the job and they call the cops, or they could not pay me over it. I could finish the job and they could be like, look, I know you finished the job, but I saw that guy over there drinking a big beer while he was working on the job. I'm not going to pay you. I have nothing. I can't say anything about it. I can't argue it. I can't take him to court over it.
Yeah.
It's on me.
You're screwed.
And I could not get my employees to understand that crap.
Okay.
It was a struggle all the time.
Be like, well, you're not my employee anymore. You
Right.
just go.
And I was hardcore. And I did have an employee that kept disappearing into the bathroom for like 30 minutes at a time. He'd go into the bathroom for 30 minutes at a time, 5 times a day.
Jesus.
There's nothing else you're doing.
There could be other things you're doing. You might not.
Nothing
want
good.
To, yeah.
No matter what, get out.
Yeah.
And I ended that quickly.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know. I knew it wasn't good.
Right.
And I just said, get out of here. I don't need to know details.
Yeah, you go on.
He lasted a week or two.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not how I run my ship.
You got some kind of compulsion that you're dealing with. It's either drugs or something else.
Something,
We just
not
don't
playing
need
around.
it.
Get out.
Yeah. No, man. I mean, my vice happens to be legal, so I just happen to,
Yeah, mine too.
and it's only like that's so but I feel like that I probably can make some pretty bad decisions on, whereas some drugs I think people you wouldn't make. Like alcohol can make you feel like you're super big, and
So can all the other ones.
yeah, I see, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, I know, like, pot, like, I feel like you just want to stay at home.
And that's the
and,
only one that's going to put you on the couch and make you not do anything.
yeah. So
But all these other ones are going to really mess up your world or make you think that you're on top of the world.
that's what I was going to say. I can't remember the whole quote, but Louis C.K. was, like, talking to his kids about drugs or talking about drugs, and he was like, they're so good, they'll ruin your life. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are so good that you will ruin your life. And I was like, huh. It's a fun way to look at that because it's so true. It's like, I don't want to put anything in there that's going to be like, you know what, I'm going to throw it all away because this is what's so good, So, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about Louis C.K. because I think I think enough time has gone by.
I think it's completely okay. I think
he's
we've already
forgiven.
moved on from that.
Okay,
It wasn't that bad.
yeah.
It wasn't half as bad as a lot of the other Me Too movements that,
Yeah.
rightfully so. When I say that, I'm not like bad-mouthing it.
Yeah, you're not like downplaying it or anything.
And even what he was doing was bizarre. But the thing about it was more that he was exposing himself. It wasn't that he was making you do something.
Right.
And compared to like Weinstein and all the other things that were, or Weins, whatever,
Yeah.
Harvey, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was like a forced almost, kind of thing. Or the person, I'm not going to say the name of, that was drugging you all the time and you didn't know about it.
Does he like pudding?
Yes.
Okay.
That's different.
Yeah.
But Louis was just like, hey, is it okay if I expose myself? No, it's not. Okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was still harmless.
Well, he said
Stupid,
He goes,
but harmless.
I was listening to his like apology. Because I really and I've liked him for so long, and he was like, apparently when they have, even if they say yes and they have tears in their eyes, it still means no. You have to really pay attention. Like, I mean, he was saying like he was not like, they didn't make me feel like the blame was on him. He has been very good to take that blame and realize that. He's like, yeah, no, I didn't think anything about it, but I also didn't think about me being the comedian I was. Because he was like,
That's
I
my
saw him
point,
in
right.
Bridgestone. So, like,
He's
he's a
huge.
big guy.
He was huge.
And he's like, I didn't think about how the women I was doing this to were on my show, and they didn't think that, like, saying no, what does that mean for them?
It goes back to the Harvey Weinstein thing. They thought they had to do it.
Yeah, so
And
like
had to
he's
say
like,
yes to
I
it.
thought I was better than these other people because I wasn't doing anything to them, but I didn't realize the influence of power. And I was like, I thought that was really cool.
I
that he
agree.
could,
And that's my point. Like, I don't really think he understood,
yeah,
but it was still kind of like a harmless,
because he's
stupid.
not like a cocky, he's not like a Dane Cook. He really isn't like some, I'm like this. He's very open. He's very self-deprecating. He's not like I'm this great-looking guy. And you'd want this. We all know what he's very So I don't think he even has that self-image.
Well, the other thing to that, I hate to say it this way, but I will sort of, in a way, kind of call bullshit on him a little bit because of what you just said. If he's not the most attractive person and he's asking you if it's okay if he does this and you say no and he still does it, that still is kind of a power thing of like, well, I'm still going to do it anyway. Or,
I think was it he said like they said yes like
some of them did.
yeah, and the ones that he said no to like I don't know
No,
I don't know if like I don't know like a whole bunch of the details.
Yeah.
I just know that some of my other favorite comedians still to this day kind of like him, and I understand their because I mean like a lot of the guys. It's I mean I saw like this meme. It was like that Shane Giles with his wife, and it's like some men don't understand the power of comedy. And because she's really attractive, and they're like some men don't understand the power of gold digging because she's like I can tolerate someone else, like So he was like, I, I don't know what I was. Where was I going with that? I don't know.
I was waiting for the
Me
punchline.
too.
No pun intended.
What did you say right before that? That I was. I don't know.
But I question if he really didn't know that he was doing that because of a power struggle.
Yeah, and then oh, that's it. My comedians that I really like that have like it's hard to stay out of that, like because being funny is kind of like a drug too, you know. And like
Well,
you
they
get like
talked about
this-
how the Me Too thing really messed them all up because they were like, well, now we have to be sensitive comedians, and
Yeah,
you can't be a sensitive
like,
comedian.
Because for like a lot of the comedians, like a lot of the real blue ones, it was like there was no lines to cross. It was just kind of a given. We're going to say some like Daniel Tosh, like he's really unapologetically out there, and he's like in comedy. Once you come and you start putting up walls, that's when we're taking it away. We're no longer in comedy, you know.
Right.
So like I like
Right.
a lot of those guys, but a lot of those guys also keep their nose really clean in order to be so out there, and
Or at least behind the scenes they don't, but in front of the audience they do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like no, like so, like a lot of these like really out
You didn't
there.
catch that at all, but that's fine.
Yes. I just like my white lines. Maybe that was what it was. But yeah, like they try. They're like, we're going to be out here. We're going to say some real messed up stuff, but we're going to keep our closet clean so we can say that. And then you have one guy that's out here not keeping their shit clean back there and ruining it for us. Come on, man. Come on. We had a good thing going, and you had to be a weirdo. Like,
Yep.
It was so creepy. It was such a
Yep.
creepy thing. But I kind of like it better. Oh, I hate it.
All right, well, it's about that time.
It is about that time. We can cut this whole last 5-minute tired of me.
Or we can
Comedians.
keep it and just cut the first 15 minutes that we had to start over on.
That's true. Yeah, I had to pee so bad. It's bad.
It happens. You're drinking water.
The
The river runs through it.
This is vodka. I had 16 ounces of vodka.
Yeah, right.
That's what this is.
This is vodka. What are you talking about?
This is my gin. I like it.
I'm having a gin and tonic.
Just a little tonic. That was my mom's drink. She'd always be like, "This man's gonna make me a gin and tonic," and I'd be like, "Gin, tonic." She's like, "Jeez, I've never asked you to make me another one." Like, what is this?
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
For the next time when hopefully I have a light fixed. I don't know if I can have that by next time.
And I won't be like,
Yeah, I don't know I don't know if I can get that in time. We'll see. I'll do
see.
some research. More product research again.
I'll bring Lily back.
But hey, the camera didn't shut off.
It didn't. It's still going.
So hopefully this looks
strong.
okay. If not, I'm going to the next one.
Yeah. On to the next one.
Still working on it.
Yeah. We got this.
We got this.
We do. We do.
All right, take care. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.